All right, I did a video about our short-term, long-term emergency food supplies, and I wanted to do one now about our emergency non-food supplies. It's going to be a long video, so either if you can get through the whole thing or just maybe watch part of it, come back to it. And then also, if you want more details about any of the things I'm talking about, comment below and I'll be glad to make a video about that, because I can't get detailed about it, a lot of the things, because I'm doing I'm covering a lot of topics here. All right, so these are the topics, or categories. We have bug out, power, home and personal defense, medical, PPE, communication, kitchen items, fuel, disinfectant, and bathroom type items. So please leave a comment. Let me know if there's anything, after you've seen the video, is there anything you want more specifics on? All right, thanks. All right, the first category is bug out bags. And this is my bug out bag here, my wife's bug out bag, and they're in our closet, ready to go. Anytime we might have to bug out, you know, either on foot or if we bug out in our car, this is the first thing we put in our car, because you might have to leave your car somewhere. So this is a must. I will have a video that describes everything we have in these bags, and I'll post the link above when I get that done. This next category is called emergency power supply. In a short-term or long-term power outage, you're going to wish you had something to keep your refrigerator going, freezer, your phones, and other electrical devices. Your options are a fuel-operated generator, or something like this, which is a solar powered generator. I can charge this by the wall, the car, or solar panels. I have a link above that gives you information about how to shop for a solar powered generator. But I think this Delta 1300 by Ecoflow is probably one of the best ones out there, and the main reason I like it is because it charges really fast. And you need that in case it's raining out, power goes out, and your battery finally depletes. And when you get a break in the clouds, you need this to charge as fast as you can. So that's why it's very important to me, because I'm only using it for emergency backup. And so throughout this video, I'm going to be using this on a few of our supplies. So, I bought another solar generator about half the price. This is about $1,100 to $1,300. I bought another one from this company that is a different model, brand new, hasn't even come out yet. It'll be this month. And I'll do a review on it, so subscribe so you can check it out. But it's about half the price. Now, this is another option. It's just a small, similar concept. You have your solar panels, and then it charges your phones or this battery, which will charge your phone several times. So this is really nice to have. It's portable. I can also take this with me if I need to, if I have to bug out. The panels for it are really not that large. This is a 100-watt panel. I have 5 of them. They cost $69, I think, or $79 on Amazon. So the reason I have 5 is I run 3 or 4 on this, and then the other panels with the unit I'm buying, or I will be receiving pretty soon. Okay, in addition to a generator of some kind, be sure you have batteries. We have you know, the AA, the AAA, and keep them stocked up, and other batteries, 9-volt, and so on. If you want information about what kind of cases these are and how I store batteries, just check the link out above and see my video on that. But I have rechargeable batteries, and I have chargers. I can actually recharge my rechargeable batteries from my solar generator. So flashlights, and here's some lamps. We have 4 of these and 2 next to our nightstands in the bedroom, 1 for the living room. And so that's it, flashlights. This next category has to do with home and personal defense. Now, if you can't own a firearm or don't want to, then you need to research a little bit more about it, because that's what I'm going to focus on. Now, most of my firearms are stored away in a safe and kind of difficult for me to get at quickly, and my ammo as well. So what I wanted to do is come up with some solution to be able to protect my home quickly, and also have something that, if I had to bug out quickly, to take with me. So I picked a variety of firearms. Now I have a concealed weapon permit, so I carry a 9mm on me all the time. But part of what I've done is I have a shotgun, a rifle, and a .45 pistol available to me easily. It's safely stored, but much easier to access. So I have faster access to it to defend my home. That way I can also take those firearms, and if I had to bug out, those would be the first ones I would take with me, put in the car. So here's the other part of the solution, is I have 2 cans here with ammunition for 9mm 45 and for my rifle and the shotgun. Just in here, a combination in both cans. So that if I have to bug out, I can grab the cans, put it in the car, the guns in the car, grab water, food, whatever I want to do, and know that I have ammunition for all those firearms. Also, it's readily available to me in my home to defend my house. I have ammunition for all of those firearms that are also available to me in my home. So it's just an idea. Now, another thing you can do if you do have to bug out to protect your house is you want your lights to come off, on and off while you're gone. You know, I have my timer set already to the time I want. So if I bug out, put everything in the car, stick this in the light in the living room, and my light will go off and on when I want it to. I carry pepper spray on me all the time. Those are, oh, one more thing. I have a little note that I wrote out that's in my closet by the front door. And it says, "Dear FedEx, please follow delivery instructions, custom delivery instructions, as we cannot answer the door. We're in quarantine. All have COVID-19. And so hopefully that would keep people who are thinking about breaking in from breaking in the house if I'm gone. All right, this category is called medical. Now it's in 2 parts. This is miscellaneous medical, and then I'm going to follow up with medicine. Now if you want, this video is pretty long as it is, so I can't get real specific and detailed about all of this. So if you see anything you want more information about, I'll do a video on it. Just put comments below. This is a basic first aid kit, just Band-Aids, Neosporin, tape. I don't know if you can see it, but there's things listed here that tell what's in it. This is a trauma kit where we have some sutures, and I've actually learned to do stitches. IPOC, this is for like gunshot wounds, miscellaneous items, magnifying glass scissors. Anyway, so that's the trauma kit. And then in here, these are braces, neck brace, ankle braces, wrist braces, ace bandages, even for fingers. And a lot of this is because I was a volunteer firefighter, and in training I injured myself quite a bit. In fact, I'm wearing a neck brace right now from just a couple days ago, an injury. But this is an otoscope, so my wife has sinus infection, gets to her ear. Sometimes it goes an infection in her ear, sometimes it's not an infection. But I can tell with this. Pictures in front tell you infection or not. And so we go to the doctor, and if it is an infection, she's on antibiotics. And if it's not, she heals by herself. So that's really works. That's helped us a lot. I have a stethoscope separate from the blood pressure machine, because in 2015 I even diagnosed pneumonia in my wife when she had. I can hear fluid in her lungs with this, and blood pressure machine. This here is, I have a problem with earwax, really bad. Every 6 months I go to the doctor, or every year, and they'd have to use manual, tweezers to clean it out. But my wife learned how to do it, and so she's cleaning it out for me, because I don't want to go to the doctor while COVID's so active right now. The second part of the medical category has to do with medicine. In this box, this is where we store, like Mucinex, Allegra, Tylenol, cough medicine, Flonase, Benadryl, things like that. And in this medicine is where we keep the prescription medicines and non-prescription medicines. And then every week we'll go in and just, fill this up, the little pill caddy. But and we keep everything in these containers, so that if we have to bug out, we can take them with us quickly. And this is the box. This is where things get a little more controversial. This is the box with information on antibiotics. I have a physician's desk reference. This is what doctors actually use. And then we also have a pocket dosing guide, basically how much medication for certain types of diseases and so on. So that helps. My doctor actually uses one, so that's useful. Now, the controversial part of this is we keep expired medicines, and I'm not suggesting that. Don't do it unless you research it yourself and feel comfortable. Some of the medications we keep have expired, and I throw them out after a time period that I feel that I should, but it's my risk. And so you need to really research that yourself. I'm not recommending keeping expired medicines, but if a pharmacy's closed or you can't get any medicine, then that's why we do this. I bought fish antibiotics way back, I think in 2012, and when they're new, I put them in my Bugout bag. They're penicillin, amoxicillin, doxycycline, Z-Pak, you name it. Now, I do not recommend this. That's not what I'm saying here. So I want to make that really clear. I'm not recommending fish antibiotics. I don't want to take fish antibiotics. It's not made for people, it says. And I've read things where I feel comfortable with having this in stock. And if there's no pharmacy and I'm dying some 104 degrees of bacterial infection and no pharmacy available, I'm going to take fish antibiotics. That's just my thing. Again, look into it yourself. I'm not recommending this. Now, the next controversial thing about fish antibiotics is I keep expired antibiotics, fish antibiotics. Not forever, but I keep them for a certain period of time and then I throw them out. So I've bought fish antibiotics, since 2012. I just bought some in like 2 years ago, in fact. New ones go in the Bugout bags, expireds go in here. Now, why do I keep them in case I need them, but also they're great, I think, would be great for barter. I think they're more valuable than gold, in fact. If someone's sick and dying of a bacterial infection and no pharmacies are open, I'm willing to bet that they would trade just about anything for some antibiotics. Anyway, so that's what I have on medication. The next category is PPE, or personal protection equipment. Now, a lot of this I've had before 2010. As a prepper, I've been collecting a lot of this stuff. For example, the N95 masks. The two type that we have are the kind that vents out. It's comfortable. It doesn't get hot when you're breathing out. But a lot of places don't allow you to wear it because you're not protecting other people. This is the one we wear, like if we go to the doctor or something, we'd wear masks like this, N95 mask. This respirator is when we feel that we're in high risk. These filters are P100s, which means it's about 99.97% effective. It's better than these. And we wear this when we know somebody, that we're going to be having to talk with somebody, like at the door. And we don't know who they are, they have no masks, so we'll wear something like that if we have to sign for something. Or to take groceries out of the trunk of the car. Check out the link above, you can see my wife doing that and using this. Okay, so those are the masks. We have goggles whenever we wear this, or we feel a high risk situation, airborne virus or something, we put a goggles on also. Now, we will clean with this Lumen CPAC cleaner. It's got a UVC light in it that will expose whatever you put in here to 5 minutes of UVC light, which will kill that virus. At least I've been told, and that I've read. We'll put the goggles in here and the respirator without the filters. The filters, we let them sit on their own for 7 to 10 days in case they do have some kind of a virus or something on them. By then, the virus will be killed anyway. So that's how we manage this. I've always had gloves for painting and things around the house, but since COVID, we've stocked up on them. And we also have several N95s because, like I said, I've been collecting them since before 2010. And other masks. These are booties. We don't use them, but if you might find use for them if you want to put them on after you're going outside. But anyway, we never use them. Instead, what we do is when we come in, we use alcohol and spray the bottom of the shoes and let the shoes sit for several minutes. You can get face shields. We don't use these either. And that's about it for PPE. This next category has to do with communication, and obviously your cell phone is probably the best communication device that you have in an emergency. You've got the internet, email, text, you name it, and it's a personal library with all your apps. So I'm going to make this really kind of short and sweet. When you're researching apps for survival or that type of thing, SHTF, try to find apps that work offline. I think most of these do, and you can get first aid apps, how to make knots, how to identify edible plants for medicine and just for food. Offline map, so you get all the maps and then it'll work offline. Anyway, so that's all I want to say about the cell phone. It's the most important thing. Without the internet, though, you need these offline apps. Now, in my opinion, the second most important communication device would be your TV, and that goes without saying. I think the cell phone is most important. The TV is the next, but you need power. So if you don't have power, that's what you want to prepare for. And what we use is, right now I'm actually running it on my solar generator here, the Delta 1300, using 68 watts. And AT&T is not plugged in. I'm just running right off of this kind of manual antenna. This is a cheap one, I got it at Best Buy. You can see right back here I have nothing else hooked up. It's just that antenna. Without some form of communication, whether you're actually communicating with someone or getting information, you can't make any decisions on what to do. It's probably one of the most important preps you can do, and you need the information in order to make decisions. We can use this little radio right here when there's lightning storms and so on to find out how the weather's going, and then this radio, and I'll have information below on some of these things. This radio is, it has a solar panel here to charge it, little lights, an AC plug-in, has a crank, so you can crank up for power. It has batteries, and so it's a great radio. So this is nice. If the power goes out, you've got something. This is a scanner. I don't use it hardly at all anymore. I bought this many years ago, but this would be something that you might be interested in getting, that you can find out, fire department and get local information and weather. And then walkie-talkies are also handy. But for me, one of the most important things, ham radio. My wife and I both have a ham radio license, and you don't need a license to listen. You just need it to transmit. And you can get a lot of information from the ham radio. You can learn a lot about what's going on. If cell towers go down, power's down, and there's some kind of SHTF event, they've got ham radio. Even repeaters have generators, some in the area, so you can get information on here. You can pick up a ham radio handheld, fairly inexpensive, but it's really good for communication. Speaking of ham radio, this is my base unit. It's actually a portable, you can see a handle right here, a portable ham radio that I can take with me to the field and use it there. But I use it as my home base radio. And there's a power supply right here, and just plug it in the wall and go. Now, if there's no power, that's when I use the Delta. Now this is right now, it's using, I'm running it on there right now. It's running 33 watts. So I'm running my home base ham radio on solar power generator right now. And I can, in case power goes out. But the nice thing is, I can take this with me if I have to bug out, along with this and the solar panels. And I have access to the world, basically. I can communicate several hundred miles away with this, and if conditions are right, even thousands. This is the kitchen category. All of the items you see here are rotated on a regular basis in our household. Now, I know a lot of you are saying these aren't emergency items. They're emergency to us if we can't get them at the store. There's a shortage or the store's closed. And we want to maintain the lifestyle that we have in our home. And so that's why I consider them emergency items, supplies. For example, I want to be able to wash bedding and clothing. And that's why laundry detergent is important to us. 6 months here, we've got 4 months of Cascade. This is not really emergency type item, you know, because you can do dishes without a dishwasher. But to maintain the lifestyle we have, we want to be able to use the dishwashing machine. So we have 4 months worth stacked. And sponges. The bags are always useful. Foil and Dawn. We have a few months worth of Dawn to rotate out as well, and also the garbage bags. We also have 50 or 33 gallon bags in the garage that we stock up. So in other words, when we use one of these, we buy another one, rotate it out. All of this. So we have a stockpile of everything. Now paper towels, they're a convenience item. You know, these aren't mandatory, but what we do is instead of using these, we use mostly washcloths, so we don't have to run out and buy these because they're hard to find, paper towels. So we purchase these at Walmart and just use washcloths instead most of the time. So these last a long time now, so we don't have to have any of these. All right, this category has to do with fuel. Now, we live in an all-electric house, no gas. So if the power went out, we'd be in trouble if we wanted to cook food. So we have a barbecue and 5 propane tanks, and we rotate the tanks out as we use one. So we always have a stockpile of propane. Another thing we do is we have gas tanks full of fuel, and we use Stackable storage because gasoline, if it sits for 3 to 6 months, it can go bad. So we put this in to store our fuel, and we also add this to one of our cars that we don't drive because we're kind of locked up. We don't drive it much. We fill the tank up and then add a certain amount of this into the gas tank, and it preserves the fuel. But more importantly, it keeps the components from corroding in the car. So you might want to look into this for your car if you're not driving it much, if you're locked up because of COVID, and use it in your fuel storage. I call this category disinfectant. When COVID-19 first started, we already had quite a few of these Germ-X hand sanitizers, but as COVID-19 developed and got worse, it became very difficult to find. So it became a little easier a few months ago. And so now what we do, every time we order something from Walmart or any store to go pick up, we always order alcohol and Germ-X if they have it. So we have a lot of this stored, but this is a good idea to try to get a hold of when it's available, just because, I mean, don't wait till you can't get a hold of it. This is antibacterial hand soap. We use this in the kitchen and the bathroom. It's antibacterial, not antiviral, so the agent that kills bacteria in here won't kill the virus. But I've read that soap in general can really harm the virus. Most of our floor in our home, the kitchen and the living room, is tile. So Pine Sol we use to disinfect it basically and keep the floor clean. If you have somebody sick in your house, you want to be sure you have some way to clean your floor. We don't need a lot of backup on this. We have one other bottle. Alcohol, I've read, I don't know this for sure, but I've read it's probably the best disinfectant for COVID-19. So anyway, that's why we have the alcohol wipes as well. And everybody knows about disinfectant wipes, the Clorox disinfectant wipes. We have a ton of these. I had a bunch at the very beginning of COVID-19, and so we rotate all this out. As soon as we use one, we order another one. So we keep a stockpile that way. Now, the Clorox is something else here. You know, as far as disinfectant, I say avoid the Splash Less or any other Clorox type of a cleaner, unless it's regular Clorox or it says 99.9% of germs it kills, something like this. If you're going to try to disinfect water, you don't want to use this. And I think it says here, not for sanitization or disinfection. To sanitize and disinfect, use Clorox or regular bleach. This isn't even regular bleach. So if you're going to try to clean water, you do the research and find out how much you can use, and you know how much the ratio. And I wouldn't bother. I wouldn't use this. You can. I think I read that you probably can. It's a little different ratio than regular bleach. To summarize, don't use this for disinfectant. I would use this for cleaning counters and that type of thing, disinfecting your house. And regular bleach if you want to disinfect water. We use this respirator here. I had it earlier in the video. You'll notice the filters are different on this. This is a 60923 filter. These have in them the P100s, but this also has something in it that filters out vapors. So we use this when we are using bleach or pine sol when we're cleaning the floor. So it's not that expensive for one of these, and it's kind of nice because you don't smell a thing when you're using this. The last category I call bathroom supplies. Now we'll start with Listerine. It's just, or whatever mouthwash you use. That's just good hygiene. You got to make sure you take care of your teeth. So we stock up on this, and we always have. We've always had 3 or 4 of these put away, and then as we use one, we just replace it. But we always have it on hand in case you can't get it anymore, or the stores are closed, or whatever. This is hand soap. We know how many bars we use. We have 6 months of hand soap stored for my wife, and 6 months for me. So that's pretty easy to figure out how much you need. Now, dental supplies are super important. We stock up on toothpaste. Again, we had to figure out how much we use, how often we go through it, because there is an expiration date on these. So you want to kind of figure out how much you need and get as much as you can, and then store it away, and then rotate it through like everything else. You know, the heads for toothbrushes, floss. Anyway, that's what all this is just dental care. You want to be able to take care of your teeth. Can you imagine you can't go to the dentist, which we can't right now. We haven't been able to for a year. So we've used a lot of this, or been grateful that we have this. Now, in fact, that brings this up. This is a dental duty kit, and we've cleaned our own teeth once. And you have to be very careful with this. I don't recommend you do it unless you've trained to do it. Have I been trained? No, and that's why I recommend it, because it didn't go real well. So, but I can't go another year without seeing a dentist. We're going to try to clean our teeth again. So I don't recommend this. I don't recommend it, but it is available if someone wants to get something like that. And then toilet tissue, the infamous toilet tissue. Well, it's important to have some kind of tissue. So we have several, several packages of toilet paper, but we also have this. This is, I got this on Amazon. I'll have a link below. They're tablets. They're not toilet tissue tablets. They're just cloth. This compressed, and you put it in water, and it expands out. And you can see that. And we can use this in a pinch here. We can use this as toilet tissue if we needed to, or any other kind of wipe. You can put soap on it, wash your hand. I mean, these are really nice. We got 500 of these, so I doubt we're going to run out. And you just pick these up on Amazon, and for toilet tissue if we had to. Another thing we did is we bought diapers and cut them up into cubes, and then my wife sewed the edges to keep it from fraying. And in an emergency, we could use these as toilet tissue, and then bleach, or it'll just wash like a normal diaper. So, now, if you've seen my video on our food preps, then you'll know what this is. This is the rotation that we have for our food supply. But we also have a rotation here for a lot of the supplies that you've seen already. The alcohol, all detergent, Cascade, Clorox wipes, cloth, Dawn, freezer paper, all of this, Listerine, paper plates, towels, sponges, surgical masks, toilet paper, toothbrush, toothpaste. So every time we use something, we just mark it and then we know what we need to buy at the store and we replace it. That way we keep a stockpile of this all the time. Well, thanks for watching the video. If you got through it, good for you. I know it's a long video, so please share it if you think it's going to be helpful to somebody. Maybe like it, subscribe, because I have a lot of new, a lot of information coming in about this video. I'm updating the solar power generator, that kind of thing. So, if you subscribe, you get notifications for it, and then you'll be able to see it. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.